Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Thank you, Matthew. Good morning. It is I wish it were Cocktail Friday Thursday. It has been a bevy of weather conditions for us here in the Northeast the last few days. A couple of tornado warnings, a couple of tornadoes, and another round of them coming our way today. This is the third day in a row of severe storms, and I don't know what's going on. We're seeing hail. We're seeing tornadic activity. It's not what happens in the Northeast. We have to worry about hurricanes. That is our concern. It's not fair that we're getting double duty. I mean, obviously there's no hurricanes right now, but come fall, we all, shaking our boots, hoping for the best. So another round today. I think they're saying it's not going to be as severe this afternoon as it has been. So that is some good news. I got myself a great night's sleep. I slept hard. Now, if you recall, I had gotten woken up in the middle of the night before because Tucker was having a little incident. She's fine. This is not uncommon. I don't know what it is that she does, but she just, she just has these incidents once in a while. And so I was up since 2 that day. I did go back to bed for about an hour and a half, but being that I only had about 3.5 hours sleep when the incident happened, I did not get enough sleep. So I went to bed last night about 8:30, and I slept hard. Now, I did wake up when my husband's alarm went off, and I did wake up before my alarm went off. So you know that I got enough sleep. It was a nice sleep. I don't think I woke up much at all during the night. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energetic. I'm ready to tackle the day, and I'm going to help you tackle the day too. So we just have to wait on this last storm. I have book club tonight, and of course there's going to be storms because I was hoping to have book club outside. So now I'm going to have to try and figure out how to put a leaf in my table. I know I have a leaf. I just don't know how to work the darn thing. And my husband's at work, so I'll figure it out. It'll be okay. Actually, now that I'm looking at my table, it doesn't go long ways. It opens up more into a square. So I'm not sure if that's even going to be helpful. I need to make the table longer, and apparently I'm not going to be able to do that. What to do? We'll see. We'll see how many people come, how many people show up. As of right now, I got about 10 people coming. But people always bow out at the last minute. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a good time. I've got my spinach out, defrosting to make my famous spinach dip. Joe's lasagna is in the fridge, ready to go. I've got some garlic bread. I'm going to make a Caesar salad. What else am I going to have? I'm going to put out some cheese and crackers. That's my specialty. I'm very good at cutting up cheese and putting them next to crackers on a plate. And I think I'm going to do some tomato, mozzarella, and basil because I have basil coming out the wazoo right now. I had purchased a basil plant. I think I may have talked about this before. I'm not sure. I saw so many people over the weekend, and I told this story so many times. I don't remember if I told you or just the people that were over at the house, but I had purchased a basil plant, and it's doing pretty well, but it was a small plant. So I had plucked most of the basil leaves off of it already. And then I was having some company on Sunday, and Joe and I did our food shopping on Sunday, and ShopRite had a deal, which is this 10-inch basil plant for $5. And I was like, all right, I can get that, and then I'll have plenty for the weekend. And now I have basil, and this is a huge basil plant, and I have it everywhere now because now the other plant is rejuvenating itself and it's coming, with more leaves and it's looking good and I'm happy. I love that I haven't killed it yet. That's always good news when it comes to me and growing things. So I'm going to have to do some tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil too, because I've got to show off my growing skills. Yes, I will be buying the tomatoes, because even if I were actually having success with my tomatoes, which I have my fingers crossed, they would not be ready as of yet. So I'm very excited about book club tonight. We are reading, I know this will come as a shock to all of you. I requested that we read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I'm sure you've never heard of that book before, especially if you listen to me, because I never talk about that book. Yeah, it's my spiritual Bible, like I have mentioned. And I reread the whole thing because I'm going to be discussing it, and I felt an obligation since I made everybody else read it. Now, we don't normally do books like this in book club, so I feel a little weird. I'm hoping that people liked it. Everybody always said this is a different kind of read for me. Maybe not everybody is into inspiration and positivity as I am. I have to keep that in mind. But I've got some questions ready to go to discuss the book. And it was great that I reread it. Now, I do have a lot of markings on my book that I do go back and read pretty often, but I just go back to the marked areas. So I read the whole thing over again, and I put a whole bunch of new marked areas. So it used to take me about a half hour to get through my marked areas in this book. Now it's probably going to take me about an hour. That's okay. It's all good information. Love this book. Love it, love it, love it. I'm a little nervous that nobody liked it. But my hosting, my choice. So that's tough noogies. Tough noogies, if they didn't like the book, I'm sorry. They will still have a fabulous meal, for sure. And a good time will be had, because we do talk about the book. Don't get us wrong. We are a book club. We talk about the book. We usually talk about the book a good hour or so. But then, yeah, shots come out, dessert comes out. We usually play this game called Left, Right, Center. Have you ever heard of this game? I had never heard of this game before we started playing it in book club. And now we end the night with this Left, Right, Center game for every event we're having, be it game night, book club, what have you. And the way it works is you have 3 $1 bills. And you have dice. Oh, speaking of which, I have to make sure to put that on the book club page today. Somebody needs to bring their dice, because I do not have dice for left, right, center. And the dice for left, right, center has either an L on it for left, a R on it for right, a C on it for center, or a dot, which means you don't have to do anything. Now, depending on the amount of dollar bills, everybody starts with $3 bills. So say I roll a left, a right, and a center. That means I'm out of dollar bills right away, because I have to give $1 to the person on my left, I have to give $1 to the person on my right, and I have to put $1 in the center. So as the center starts to build up, that's the pot. Whoever's the last one standing with a dollar bill wins the pot. So just because you lose your money first off doesn't mean that you're out, because somebody on the other side of you could get a left or a right, and you're back in the game. So it's pretty interesting, and it goes kind of fast. So it's pretty good. It's pretty fun, I have to admit. So I do like that one. I'm looking forward to that. Last time we played, I did not have my dollar bills. People helped me out and gave me some dollar bills, because I just don't carry cash on me very often. But I do have 3 $1 bills today, and I have to make sure to keep that in the house somewhere, because I do have to go out and do a little bit of shopping later. And if I just stop somewhere, knowing me, I'll grab a soda or something like that, and I'll spend my $3, because I'll forget, and then I won't have any again. So that is the plan for today. This evening, I'm going to make my spinach dip as soon as we get off, because you have to give that some time to gel and for the flavors to kind of just mix in, and it's so yummy and delicious. Same thing with the lasagna. That bad boy's been sitting in the freezer for 2 weeks. It should be nice and gelled right now. It should be all the flavors working through it. Some pretty sad, upsetting, depressing, heartbreaking news that we found out overnight. All of us Philadelphia Eagles fans love our Nick Foles. He did not show up for a voluntary practice with the Jacksonville Jaguars for what he called personal reasons. We were all kind of scratching our heads a little bit, because Nick's not that kind of guy where he's like holding out for anything. He's going to be, ultimate team player. Come to find out that his wife had a miscarriage. So I'm sure they're going through a tough time right now. I feel terrible for the both of them, and I'm sure they will get through it. His wife had come out on social media and announced it, so she's obviously in a good enough place where she can share the news. But it's something like that, obviously, so heartbreaking. So I'm feeling for them. I'm thinking of them. I'm sending prayers to them. And we hope that everything is okay and they can get back to, growing their family at the point that it's safe to do so. I'm going to move on to the blog post for today, and it started with a quote. It's a little bit of a long one, but hang in there with me, okay? Today's blog post is about mindfulness. Oh, you know what? I forgot my topic. This is what happens when I don't write things down. All right. I'm holding off on the mindfulness blog post, and I'm going back to my topic because it was a good one. I had thought of this topic because Bruce Springsteen, the boss, is coming back to tour next year with the E Street Band. So that's not till next year. It got me to thinking of who you would like to see that you have never seen, but you have not done it yet. So we got quite a few responses. Ron said James Taylor. That's a good one. He's still around. I'm not sure if he's touring. Tom says Jimmy and Janis. I'm sure he's meaning Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, who are no longer with us. Megan says, I wish I had seen Prince, but would love to see Gaga. Gaga's one I forgot about because I have two in my mind that I would like to see, but I'm not sure if I'm going to because, again, I don't know if it's worth the $350 per ticket purchase price. Actually, there's kind of three I would like to see, but one I've already seen in a different respect. I'll get to that. Let's see. Dawn says Eminem. Okay. Probably would not go see him. Carol says Elton John. A lot of people mention Elton John and Billy Joel. I've been very lucky to see both of them a number of times. I've also seen them together. The Eagles, Michelle says, 6 a.m., Queen and Fleetwood Mac. Now, Queen obviously is still touring, but with Adam Lambert. It's not the same without Freddie Mercury, but that is not an option. Fleetwood Mac also going through some role changes on the members of the band. Linda says Elton John in Chicago. Chicago's a good one. Now, Chicago does still tour, but it's all different. They're all different singers. The same thing with Styx. Styx without Dennis DeYoung to me is not Styx, so I don't have much of an interest in seeing them. Same thing with Journey. Journey is not Journey without Steve Perry. Don't waste my time. I was lucky. I got to see Journey with Steve Perry a number of times, and even Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson, the American Idol judge, was a part of Journey for a little while. And it's funny, I didn't realize that he was the same person until he started talking about it, the name dropper that he was. So I have seen Journey a number of times. Somebody mentioned Foreigner. Denise says Foreigner. I don't remember if I've ever seen Foreigner. I don't think I have. Now, it sounds silly, but I've seen so many concerts in my day, like back in my early 20s. I was going to concerts like numerous times a summer. Like I saw David Bowie, I saw Aerosmith, I saw all kinds of people that I don't even really remember the concerts. Like it's just, I saw, who am I thinking of with the Eyes Wide Open or, completely lost it now. But then I worked at a radio station, so I had access to concert tickets, and I went a lot. Ron says the Dropkick Murphys. Lisa says Motley Crue. I think Motley Crue has retired from touring. Of course, lots of people have retired from touring and came back. Who else do we have? The Rolling Stones. We have a number of Rolling Stones. They are touring, people. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Jim says, I knocked quite a few off my list thanks to my radio DJ cousin. That would be me. Billy Joel, Elton John, he saw them together. Vanessa Carlton, he got to meet. He says he's seen a bunch of greats, but someone he has never seen and would love to is Celine Dion. I think you will still have the opportunity to do that.